Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be talking about binary search and we'll be seeing few basic questions which can be solved through binary search, and it is one of the very important algorithm that you must know to actually improve your skills on data structure and algorithms. And questions related to binary search are like frequently asked in many interviews and all, and there are some very good questions which can be solved with binary search. So let's first start with the basic binary search, what it actually is. So uh, let's say we have a few number, an array of numbers. Let's say 1 2 3 4 6 9 11 13 14, right? So this is my array of numbers. So first thing that you should notice is that binary search only uh, work on sorted list or set of data. It should be either monotonically increasing or it should be monotonically decreasing. So this list that we have is actually monotonically increasing. That's why binary search can be applied there. And the similar, it can also be applied to a data set which is monotonically decreasing. The thing to notice is the only thing is that there should be an increasing or decreasing relationship between the elements, and your search space should be defined like that. So in this case, how a normal binary search works is, let me write the indexes of all the elements. So we have 8 elements here, and the way binary search work is we actually find the mid element. So the mid element in this case is the last index minus first index divided by 2. So, like last index plus first index divided by 2, and which will come out to be 4. So in this case, my middle element is coming out to be uh, index 4. Now we'll check if this particular element is equal to that element that we are trying to find or not. Okay, so I didn't tell you which element we are looking for. So in this example, let's say we are looking for element 11, right? So our key or our target here is element 11. So what happens is we'll check whether the mid element is equal to 11 or not. So is 6 equals to 11? No. Now here is the main crux of the binary search, how it is useful. For example, we found that 6 is not equal to the 11, and since our array or list is sorted in increasing order, then we can say that all the element that is less than or equal to 6 will not be equal to 11, and hence 11 or the key that we are looking for will never be in this particular side of the array which is less than 6. So we can simply neglect this part of the array. So what we are effectively doing here is we are decreasing the search space. So we have less numbers to look for when we are searching for our key. So now my new search space will be from, and we also know that 6 is not equal to 11, so we can actually disregard this part as well. So my new search space will be, if I call this low and if I call this element as high. So earlier my low was equal to 0 and high was equal to 8, but now we know that this part will not be useful to us because it is less than 6, hence there will not be any element which is equal to our target, that is 11. So we'll not be taking this part of the array, and our new low will become, rough this, our new low will become this, right? So what we have effectively done, our new low is equal to mid plus 1. And when we did this, we did this when our, let's call this array at as nums, when nums, sorry for that, when nums of mid, right, is less than target, right? So our nums of mid was less than target. So we know that every element which is lower than this particular target will not be found in that part of the array. So we have simply increased the low. Now my low is, now first iteration is over and my low is become 5 and my high has become 14. So low is 5 and high is 8. So what will be my new mid? Mid will be 8 plus 5 divided by 2. That will be equal to 13 divided by 2, which will be equal to 6.5 truncated down to integer value, which will be 6. So let's check at index 6. So at index 6, the value is 11. So is 11 equal to uh, our target? Yes. So we have found actually the target or the element that we are looking for. So we will just return 6 from that particular function. So this is the idea of the binary search. Now let's consider the case where if our mid was evaluated to 7, just for the other case that can happen, and the value at that particular index was greater than the target that we are looking for. So if nums of mid was greater than target, right? So we know that mid is greater than target, so target will be on the left side of the mid. So we can simply ignore this side of the array. So our high will become mid minus 1. So this is how actually the binary search works. And the idea is that at every iteration, we are basically reducing our search space to some smaller amount. So let's now analyze the complexity of the binary search. So uh, let's say the size of the array was n, right? And we did k iteration to reach to our answer, right? And in effectively every time we are actually partitioning. Let's say if our array was of size n, we are finding mid element, and mid will be somewhere in the will be at the middle, and depending on the value of the mid and comparing it with the target, we are either ignoring left part of the mid or ignoring right part of the mid, right? So at every iteration, the size of the array is keep on decreasing. So for and it is decreasing by half. So after first iteration, in first iteration the size of the array will be n. In second iteration, the size of the array will be n by 2. In third iteration, the size of the array will be n by 3. And similarly, if it takes us k iteration to reach to our answer, the size of the array would be n to the power 2k, and n to the power 2k will be having our target element, let's say equal, and that will be only size of the array will be 1. Now what we can do is transfer k to that side and taking log base 2 on both sides. So it will be k log 2 2. So this will cancel out to be the 1, and it will effectively taking us this number of iteration. So the worst case time complexity of binary search is log 2n, or in big O notation, order of log 2n. And what is the best case? Best case will be like the first mid element that you have found is equal to the target. So in that case, the best case time complexity is order of 1. So average case time complexity, we can say that it is of order of log 2n. So this is how binary search works. But binary search is not only limited to finding an element in an sorted array. It has a very wide application, and there are some beautiful questions that can actually be formed on the concept of binary search. So we'll be seeing some questions now, and I'll try to make this playlist full of different type of questions from different level of difficulties that can be asked in the interview questions, so that you can get your concept of binary search strong. So let's see this. Let's start with the easier question. So now this is binary search, right? We'll also see the implementation. So this is an easy question from the lead code, and this is just a simple implementation of binary search that it is asking. So it is saying that given an array integers of nums and integer nums, and which is sorted in ascending order, and an integer target, write a function to search target in nums. If target exists, then return its index, otherwise return -1. So if you see this input here, what it is doing is we have given a sorted list and a target 9. So this is this. So we can actually apply uh, binary search here, because if you can say that it has specifically specified that the algorithm should run in order of login time, right? So that is kind of a hint. Or whenever you see any question which has the sorted list or sorted data, then the first algorithm that should come in your mind is binary search. So this is nothing but a simple implementation of binary search. So first we are actually we are finding the low, this is which will be the 0th index, the high which will be the length minus 1, and how many times my iteration will run unless low is less than or equal to high. Then for the first iteration we are finding mid, we are checking if mid is equal to target, we are returning mid. So if we found that mid is equal to target, we can simply return the index that is mid. Now there can be two cases that can arise, right? The target is less than mid. So in that case, what we were doing, we were actually, so if we see here, minus 1, 0, 3, 5, 9, and 12, right? So what are its indexes? Um, its indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So what will be the mid? Firstly, mid will be 0 plus 5 divided by 2, that will come out to be 2. Now our target in this case is 9, right? Target is 9. So is array of 2, that is 3 equals to 9? No. So we cannot return mid. We will then check if target is less than ARR mid. Is 9 is less than 3? No. Then low will be mid plus 1. So our low, which was earlier 0, will now become mid plus 1, that is this will now become low, and high will remain as it is. Now we'll go to the second iteration. Is low less than equal to high? So 3 is less than 5, that is fine, we can go into the loop. Now what will be the new mid? The mid will be 5 plus 3 divided by 2, that is equal to 8 by 2, that is equal to 4. So 4, at 4 what is the element? It is 9. So is 9 equal to 9? Yes, we have found our element. So we will simply return mid from there. As you can see here, here output was 4 and expected output was also 4. So this was an easy question on binary search, and this can be solved in order of log n, right? So we'll see some more question on how binary search can be useful. So one of the variant of question that can be actually asked on binary search is finding the first and the last position of an array. So let's see that question. So in this question, you can see that we have been given an array of integers. We have been given an array of integer nums. It is sorted in ascending order, and we have to find the starting and ending position of the given target value. And if target is not found, we will simply return an array consisting -1 -1, right? And it has specified that it should run in order of log n. Now the key hints that tells us that okay, we'll be using binary search for this problem is this thing that it is sorted in ascending order, and it is explicitly specified here. Usually the question will not, questions or in the interviews will be not be specifically specified that you have to apply binary search only there. But if you have solved enough question, if you have practiced enough, then it will automatically intuitively come to you. And one of the rule of thumb that I usually follow is if the data set is in ascending order, I try to think if binary search can be used here or not. So let's see the example. So in this example, the array is 5. Let me write it big. 5, 7, 7, 8, 8, 10. And what is our target? Our target is here 8, right? So what it is actually asking me, the first and last index of 8, right? So 5, 7, 7, 8, 8, 10. So first index of 8 is 0, 1, 2, 3, and last index of 8 is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So our output is 3 and 4. And in the second input exam set, you can see that the target is 6 and 6 is not present in that array. Then we will simply return -1 and -1. And if the array is empty, then we'll return -1 and -1. So how binary search can be applied to this particular question? Let's see. So let's say I have an sorted array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, and 8. This is my sorted set, and let me write the index of it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right. So how we can apply binary search here, and the question, let's say, is that we have to find the first and the last index of element 6, right? So how we will proceed that? So when you are actually applying binary search, we usually find mid first and compare it with some property, right? So let's say this particular is my low pointer and this particular is my high pointer. Then I'll find a mid. Now when I'll find the mid, what will be the mid? It will be 8 plus 1 by 2, that will be 9 by 2, it will be 4. So let's see 4. Is 4, is element at index 4 equals to 6? No. Is it less than 6? Yes, it is less than 6. And since it is sorted in increasing order, we can say that 6 will be found in the later side of the array. So what we do in that case, we'll just increase our low to mid plus 1, like we do in normal binary search. So similarly, we will do that only. We'll increase our low to mid plus 1, that is 4 plus 1, that will be 5. Now my low, this is my new low, this is my new high. So let me just calculate the new mid. My new mid would be 10 plus 6 by 2. So 10 plus 6 by 2 is 16 by 2, and that is 8. So we'll examine index 8. So is the element at index 8 equal to 6? Okay, yeah, it is true. So what we'll do? We'll mark our answer at index 8. But in usual binary search, when we had to find the only the index of that element, we would have returned from that answer, like we did in this example, right? In the normal binary search, if you'll see, when we found that mid is equal to our target, we simply return that. But this will not be the case this time, right? What we'll do now is, okay, we found that we have an element 6 at index 8, right? So this is one of our probable answer. Then what we can do is, we can say that, okay, I have found in element 6 at this particular index, but there can be probable answers on the left of 6 as well. 6 is one of my answer, but on the left side of 6, if there can be other 6 as well, right? So we would simply reduce our search space to mid minus 1 and run the loop iteratively. So I'll better explain it from the code, right? So let's move to the question. So this is the solution, and I'll explain you from the code what is happening. So we'll see first this is the method which will actually find me the first index of the array. So we'll just simply look at our example, which is 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 6 6 7 8, right? And let's write the indexes as well. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, right? So similarly, we have first initialized low, we have initialized high as length minus 1, and then initially we have this answer as minus 1. That would be the case when we don't find our target element or the key that we are passing here. And the key that we are looking for is 6. So this key value will be is equal to 6, and array will be this particular array, right? Now this will run till low is less than equal to high, and then we'll find the mid element. So this is actually the better way of finding the mid element, because the one of the way that people usually follow is like low plus high divided by 2. So there is a plus operation here. Then it can happen that the this may overflow, because since if this lower and higher is of the size of, let's say, the greatest integer value that the system can hold, then it will result in the overflow of the data type, and you will get the erroneous or faulty answer. So this is actually a better way to avoid the overflow while finding mid. Oh, sorry for that. So 1, 2, 3. Let me just check this. Yeah, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 8. Right. So first we'll find the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So my mid would be 10 plus 0 by 2, that will be 5. Right. So in this case, it would be this particular element at index 5. So is 5 is 6 equal to our key? Okay, yeah, 6 is equal to our key. But then there could be case that we can find it on the left side of this thing. Let's say this element was also 6 only, right? So we have a 6 on this side as well, and our mid is also finding this equal to 6. So if you can see here, we have three cases we have written. Is array mid less than or equal to key, the middle element is greater than key, or middle element is equal to key. So if middle element is equal to key, we will store, okay, this mid is one of our probable answer. Yeah, this could be the first element, or there can be other element equal to this key that is on the left side of this array. So what we are doing, we are actually reducing the search space again. Ki, okay, one answer I have found, but there can be other answer as also lower than 6. So we'll actually partition this in such a way, and in similar fashion the binary search will go on, and then at every time you will actually reduce or search this. Let's say the next iteration, so my low will be 0, my high will be 4, so my middle will be 2. So is 2 equal to 6? No. And if it is less than key, yeah, so we can actually increase our low. So our low will now point to 3. Now it will be 4 plus 3 by 2, that will be 3. Is 4 equal to key? No. Then my low will equal to high. So low will now point to high, and low and high is equal, so it will run for one last time. And then in this case, answer will be equal to middle. And in the next iteration, our mid will be reduced by 1. So our this condition will fail and loop will start. So at every iteration, we are actually checking the better answer that we could find on the left side of the array if we find an array equal to that. So this is actually same as normal binary search only. The only difference is in normal binary search we were returning when we were finding the value equal to the key element. In this case we are storing that particular value. We are saying, okay, I have found an answer, but there can be a better answer on the left side, right? And similar is the case when we are actually trying to find the right side of the array. So if we have 4, 5, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, then let's say this is our middle element. We found, okay, this is the middle element, this is equal to the key that we are looking for, that is 6. But we know that, okay, I have found this, but then there could be better answer on the right hand side, so we'll ignore this side of the array, and then we'll reduce our search space to this particular right side. And the method for this, that is, if you see here, there is very slight change here. Earlier what we were doing, we were storing answer, we were we were, if you see the code, we were actually modifying high that time because we wanted to see on the left side, and for the last index we are actually modifying the low when we have found the element equal to this. So in this way you will find the lower and upper bound of the array. So I'll just walk through this code again. Yeah. Hmm. So if you'll see here, so what I'm doing, I'm given the nums array and the target for which I have to find the first and the last index. So what is happening is I have initialized the array which I need to return, and then I have created a method which will find the first element, and I have created a method which will find me the last element. and then these are the two methods which gives me the first element of the array equal to the target and last index of the element equal to the target. So this is how this question can be solved. So here if you see, there is only very slight difference on the method, right? So in programming, it is generally not a good idea to write repeat your code, right? So one of the way of solving this is another method also, which I'll be showing you. So in that method, what we do is, let's say we have our element 1 2 3 4 4 4 4 5 6, and we want the first and the last index of 4, and this is like index 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, right? So let's say, so what I will do is I will basically be writing a method which will only give me the first position of any element, that is the first index of any element. So if I have to find the first index, so it is simple only. If it is greater than equal to target, then we are actually modifying our high, or else we are modifying it is same as that only. But rather than for the first position, I'm calling this method which will give me the first position of the target, and then I'm calling method again to find the target plus one's first position. That will be equal to, it will give me the whatever is first element that is greater than 5, it will give me the first position of that. And if I'll minus that index with if I'll do a -1 to that index, then that will give me the last uh, position of the array. So think of it in this way, like I found the first position of 4, that is 4, and I have found the first position of 5, or let's say any element which was, let's say, x here. So if x is the first element that is just greater than my target, then the index just below or previous to x will be the last element of that index, right? So effectively, I'm using the same method, and I'm searching for the element just greater than my target. And since it is sorted, once I found the first position of that particular target plus 1 and do a and decrement it by 1, then I'll get the last. So this is the code for this. This is the same code only. Here instead, just you are finding the first position of that particular element, right? So this is how you can actually solve this question. So we'll be solving some more question on binary search in our next videos. So if you like the channel, if you like the content, you can like, share and subscribe, and you can write in comment also if you want to improve anything, and I'll be solving more question and explaining more concepts on binary search and other algorithmic concepts. Thank you.